Thanawat Tirapong Paiboon from Thailand has taken the opener from Gerard Green. Joe Swale, who pulled off an amazing comeback last night, he's still in his first frame with Jamie Jones. Swale, who was beaten in the final here by Selby last year, he was 3-0 down to Andrew Norman, came back to win 4-3. Carter Walden also, their first frame still going. David Morris from the Republic of Ireland, who sent Judd Trump home from this tournament. He's 1-0 up on Stuart Bingham. Rob Milkins very swiftly took a 1-0 lead over Martin Gould. And it's also the first frame still in progress, Ken Doherty and Michael White.
Nice to see Ken back playing well again. And that red there wasn't too shabby either from Mark Selby.
And up to the minute news, I can tell you Anthony McGill has taken the first frame from Ronnie O'Sullivan. It was on the black.
No, he doesn't want this to be straight. I think he's okay. It's good green into the centre. It's got a slide angle, I think, on this red to get out for the black. But this is not guaranteed. This needs good cueing. Just too wide. Seen a lot of those missed down the years. It's a pity, really, because he played a good positional shot from the green. Doesn't seem to have left anything on, really. Nothing easy anyway. Aditya here already looking for a safety shot.
One of two Indians on the main tour at the moment, the other one being the billiards legend, who's a real superstar in his home country, Pankaj Advani. And I think it was a real relief to everyone in snooker, apart from the two players they beat, when Mehta and Advani both qualified for the Indian Open. Had to play one qualifying match in England to go home and compete, and both negotiated that match.
Hasn't played too good a safety shot there, though.
One.
He allowed Mark to have a go at that one. It was a poor safety. He had to make sure he covered that one. You can't give this man those sort of chances. Well, look at that, amazingly. Long pot success, 100%. I think he was expecting a cannon there to leave himself on the red just above the black. Could still take a red onto the yellow pocket. Well, he'll be disappointed there because he was in good position. Didn't get the desired position from the blue.
One. 3. Aditya Mehta.
Well, he
3.
chose to leave the red from distance, made it more difficult. And he knows, Aditya knows that was a good chance. And if Mark can pop this one in, he could be away here. Great shot. I mean, you do get chances against the top stars, Phil, you know, but when they're right on it, you don't get too many. But, you know, if they're not quite on the top of the game, there's chances there, but yeah, you have to take them.
Well, Selby's initial red there, much like a red he knocked in the first frame. A really good indication of how well he's cueing.
Nine.
Doesn't need to worry about qualifying for the PTC Grand Finals next March. I think he's pretty much already there. He was the runner-up in the second Euro Tour event in Rotterdam to Mark Williams, beaten 4-3 in a very entertaining
16.
final. And he was also a beaten finalist in the first Asian PTC event. Lost there to Joe Perry.
He's got a lot of points under his belt and the order of merit. And it's good to do it early, isn't it? And it just takes the pressure off for the rest of the events. You can
17.
class it as match practice, really. But that one's gone wrong. Can't see the black, you can see the pink, but that's not easy either. Now then, does he take the pink on, or does he just dive for cover? It's one of those, if it goes in, it could win him the frame. Doesn't like it.
Green one.
Can't blame him for running away, really, for safety. He's prepared to wait.
Mark Selby 17.
We were saying, Mike, that he plays a lot. Very busy competitively. I remember the time when the snooker season traditionally started maybe in early September. Here we are in late August, and this is Mark Selby's 25th match of the season.
Amazing, isn't it? Yeah, normally it was September to May, wasn't it? With a couple of months off, but these boys don't get a lot of time these days for holidays and whatever. They'll get them in between, of course, but they finished the World Championship within 10 days. They were qualifying for the first event. And Barry Hearn has been quoted as saying, I want a 12-month calendar. And why not? There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, with his success rate, he might try a 13-month calendar at one point.
Wouldn't surprise me.
He's got friends in high places.
Yeah. It's certainly a good time to be a professional snooker player, there's no doubt about that. There's plenty of opportunity now.
Yes, and chalk and cheese from what it was maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago, when there were hardly any playing opportunities whatsoever.
Well, just go back as 3 years ago, Phil. Really, you know, we've got the right people on board now, the right people in place to push this game forward. Unfortunately, in the past, that's not always been the case.
The other thing that's encouraging, the international structure of the game now. If you look at the last 16 here, players involved from 7 different nations.
Got so much snooker in Germany now that they're hoping they'll bring a champion through, actually, aren't they?
Well, let's hope so. No one remotely close yet, though.
No.
Don't think Mehta was particularly enamoured by the reaction he got off the cushion there.
Did seem to take off a little.
Just while we're in this impasse, I can tell you that Gerard Green has equalised against Thanawat Tirupongpai Boone. 1-1 there. And Michael White has taken the opener against Ken Doherty.
Yeah, just keep an eye on young Michael White. He's just coming up on the rails, isn't he? You know, he's just quietly gone about his business this weekend, and he's got some good victories under his belt.
Yes, here in Firth, he's already claimed the scalp of Stephen Maguire. Normally when the black or any colour goes over a top corner pocket, there's a possible re-rack coming up. Selby will want to avoid that, of course, with a 24-point lead. But this is the right environment, Mike.
It is. They're all moving that way, aren't they? And that's a pretty good shot from Aditya there. He stopped Mark from playing the conventional shot back to bulk. Although there might just be one opportunity, actually. The red on the right that's furthest away from us, he could possibly come off that. There's a gap for the cue ball, but that's a pretty good shot. Looks like Mark's coming off two cushions here, looking for a glancing blow. That's the offending black. Now, can he catch this on the thin side? Oh, he's hit it well. We'll settle for that. Well done. Always a great shot, that, when it comes off. Cliff Thorburn, I think, introduced that shot a few years ago. He'll be over from Canada in a few weeks' time. He's competing in the seniors event, World Seniors in Portsmouth, middle of October. It'd be nice to see him again. He's sharing the flight with Elaine Robidoux. Well, he's got Aditya wrong-sided here, and there's a possible out from one of the reds, but he's got to be careful he doesn't push anything into that black. If these reds get tighter towards that black, this fella just mentioned, then there's a definite possibility of a re-rack.
When our coverage here on Eurosport began of this tournament on Friday morning, the first match featured two top 16 players, Mark Davis and Mark Allen. And it also featured two re-racks.
Well, he's done well to get the white there, but unfortunately for him, he's pushed one over the corner. So things not going his way at the moment.
Yes, and you have to think now the stalemate is about to be broken.
This might be 2-0 in a few minutes' time. Especially in the best of 7. You have to battle then, and I think Mark might be able to see this black, which would help. Needs to get that black away from that corner pocket. Yes, you can see enough of that to pot it. Well, that could have been better. Still got a cut back on this red, but the black a little bit on the thin side, if anything. This is just a question of where the white's going to finish. I'm not sure whether we can avoid the black here. Might be able to. Well, he's got a shot on the pink.
And all of the bulk colours being off their spots there was a real aid to Selby, because it meant it was much easier to get the cue ball into bulk and back out again.
$16.
No man's land there, though.
Well, he's got a shot on the brown, but it'd be some shot to get back for the reds. Might just have enough angle here to play with topspin, come back off the cushion. Oh, it's downward striking. Well, there's no angle there. This is dead straight. This will be some shot. And it was. What great cueing that is.
Especially on a table that I wouldn't say was the most responsive.
No, it's been a bit sluggish this weekend, hasn't it? I mean, I know the lads who put the tables together, the fitters in the field, they're great lads, and the table conditions, playing conditions, are normally really, really good. But I think these boys are struggling to get hold of the white, whether it's a new cloth or it's a set of balls, I don't know, but they have really struggled to get to grips with putting spin on the ball and getting the reaction that they normally sort of find. It's definitely been a little bit sluggish. I know that the weather outside as well is not helping. I think there's some rain around the area, and even though they have the heaters on underneath, Phil, the damp gets in sometimes, isn't it? We know that from old, the old the billiard
27.
halls and stuff like that. The weather can affect sometimes the conditions of play.
Yes, this has been a hard-working contribution from Selby. 51 ahead, and where the balls are placed on the table, holding all of the aces.
Mark Selby, 27.
Good pace, keeping the pressure on. And that's a pretty good return, actually, considering where he was. Just left it slightly awkward over the green. Well, might still go for this red. And now he wishes he hadn't. Although, it's just about run on far enough. Put his hand up there to apologise. This will pot, but it's an acute angle. All he can do is just drop this in. Well, look at that. It shows you the angle from our floor camera. Not easy.
One.
Well played. Excellent. Worth the replay. I thought he'd overcut it there for a minute.
Yes, so did I.
Well, this is a chance. There's a bit to do, but can he get himself back into this frame?
Five. Six.
Well, I think he'll have to play on the red near the top cushion here. He hasn't got a great angle to get close to those other two reds. He might try to move the red actually from here. Just stunning down, I think. Well, this isn't guaranteed.
12.
Does he play this with pace? Does he drop it in dead weight? If it's dead weight, it should hug the cushion. It'll have the pink to the centre. No.
Aditya Mehta. 12.
So that was always the problem, playing it that way. Now he's just gifted the chance back to Mark Selby to complete victory in the second frame.
1.
Yes, the blue will be enough to leave Mehta requiring a snooker.
Good cannon. Could have finished better, but there's nothing spectacular at the moment. But at the moment, Mark's just using the experience and picking Aditya off. Could still do with one more red though, just to make sure. Again, a similar shot actually to the first frame. He had a red like this into the same corner pocket. Oh, I thought it might be 2 out of 2, but not yet.
6.
So just one snooker required then.
Many problems in this frame for Mehta. One of them is the fact that the black isn't ideal. Far from it.
One.
Well, that surprised me because he needs to land at least on the pink. Well, if he takes the blue, he can only tie with one snooker on the last red. And he's done the calculations. He probably needs to knock the pink in here. Well, 39 in the frame with 35 on.
6.
I don't understand that, why he's gone for that, even if he gets the pink. He'll need 2 snookers. Why did he play the pot? Just keep the red on the table. Or why did he attempt the pot?
No tomfoolery from Mark Selby, just as in the first frame, playing hardball.
Well, I'll just go back to that choice of shot from Aditya there, and the red. Why didn't he keep it on the table? There was no point in that unless he can get himself onto the black. The black was to tie. The pink would have been 2 snookers. There was no value in taking the red on. As it stands, actually, it's not bad because when missing the red, he still only needs 1 snooker to tie.
Mark Selby has won many, many frames after requiring a snooker. He's lost very few when his opponent requires one. Interesting news from table 2. Ronnie O'Sullivan looked as though he was going to fall 2-0 down to Anthony McGill, but he cleared last red to black to win it on the black and to draw level at 1-1. Joe Swale leads 1-0 against Jamie Jones. Ali Carter 1-0 over Ricky Walden. It's now 2-0 Rob Milkins over Martin Gould, and also 2-0 for Michael White against Ken Darty.
Well, I think the double is on here. Thinking the red will just pass the blue. Well, he's played the double the other way, and it's not far away. Well, frame over now. I think that was actually intended. Good shot. It's about to go 2-0. And Aditya is in danger of being whitewashed here, the way things are going. Great shot.
6.
Tough crowd in, Phil. I thought that was a good shot.
I thought it was excellent.
9.
Obviously no pressure on it because the frame was already safe and secure, but even so, to pot a ball, particularly across the baulk cushion at that pace.
Just over half an hour then for this second frame. It's taken a while to unfold, but it's the Englishman that's going to take it and lead 2-0.
18.
He looks in the mood here, Mark Selby. Let's not forget that he is the defending champion. He's looking for 3 on the bounce, actually.
24.
Nice little double to finish.
There you go, Mark Selby on the mark. A 63 break in the first frame. There, had to fight a little harder, but in the end, exactly the same result. And so Mark Selby, halfway to victory, 2-0 ahead.